Welcome back to Dante's Inferno, guys. This is the last episode, and holy shit, this is, it's crazy. But as you can see right in the beginning here, I'm going through the menus and showing you that I ended up getting all the Judas coins anyway, even though throughout the whole game I was saying, I don't care about that, I got them anyway. But here you go, watch this cutscene. In just a second here, there you go. Now you could probably tell two things from this. One, this is a post-commentary. I'm not playing the game right now while I talk. And number two, there was a jump in the video, and that jump was because I died. This is the final battle of the game. This is part one of the final battle, and it is a very, very difficult fight. You're fighting Lucifer himself, and, well, this part you're fighting a different part of Lucifer, but you're still fighting Lucifer, and he is just cheap as fuck. Just cheap as hell. He does so much damage with every attack, and it's very hard to stay alive throughout the entire time without, dying, because it's quite a long battle. So I did die a bunch of times. I cut all of that out, so you're only going to see the successes. But still, there's some cuts here and there, so sorry about that. But anyway, this is post-commentary because, I did record commentary while doing this, but this whole thing, this whole segment from the first battle to this, and the second part of the battle, which you'll also see, that took me over, how long did that take? Let's see. I don't know, maybe like an hour and 20 minutes. And this video is only a little over 20 minutes long, including all the cutscenes. So that'll show you just how long it took me just retrying over and over again to get this boss down, because it is just such a difficult battle to get through in one shot. So that's why it's post-commentary. The commentary during the actual battle itself was not too entertaining. I got really kind of agitated and angry while doing it, and by the time you actually got to see the successful runs, I was so sick of fighting this guy that I was just not having fun, and it came through in the commentary, so it's not something you wanted to see anyway. But, on to the battle. The main strategy with this battle, at least the strategy I use, is it's a little bit cheap, but at the same time, it's like, why not make it a little bit easier if you can? All I really do the entire time is I try to dodge his hand smashes, and as you can see, I missed there. But try my best to dodge his hand smashes on the ground, and shoot him with my cross whenever I can. The hand smashes are along a pattern, and the pattern changes up when he gets to different amounts of health. So it's for the first 25% of damage you give him, he has a certain pattern. For the next 25%, he has another pattern. For the next 25%, another pattern. And then for the last 25%, he has another pattern after that. And as long as you remember how to jump and avoid his attacks, you'll be pretty good for this portion. Sure, there are other things like these tornadoes, but, they're not as difficult to avoid as they may seem. Now, the other part that I mentioned, the cheat part of this, is where I'm standing in the battlefield. You'll see that I'm constantly on this left side of the circle here, and the reason why I'm doing that is because when he hits with his left hand, so it's on the right side of the screen because I'm looking at him, he will miss every single time because the effective range of that shockwave is I guess not long enough to hit me from that position. So that's why I constantly go there throughout the battle. It's not so that I can it's not because it has like it's easier for me to see. It's just because it allows me to not get attacked from that position. So that's why I'm doing that. Now, while this battle is going on, I figured I'd talk about some things that, that some of you guys may want to know, especially the ones who've been watching this series throughout, or at least have watched a bunch of these episodes. I want to talk about what my favorite circle is. My favorite can't talk. My favorite circle is kind of surprisingly violence. I really like violence because throughout the entire circle, it's a really cool one. I mean, granted, the last portion of violence, the something sands, the Despicable Sands, I'm forgetting the name of it, they aren't as cool as the other portions, but man, that first part of violence is just so cool. The River of Blood, the Phlegius, or not Fledges, the Fledgeathon is such an awesome area, and also the Word of the Suicides is really cool as well. So I really like that circle for those reasons in particular. I'm also a pretty big fan of the last portion of Anger, but it's it's not as great. Violence is definitely number one for me. Now my least favorite circle is definitely Lust, because it's just so fucking boring. It's just a tower. There's nothing really cool about it. Yeah, they have the horror enemies, which as you know, if you've been watching, I fucking hate the horror enemies. So that's no fun. And I also really hate playing Greed. I think Greed is really well designed, but it's such a shitty fucking level to play. Especially on Infernal. Greed is so terrible to play. It's just not fun. It has so many instances that are really difficult, just back to back to back, and just playing through that without raging is so challenging. I mean, I hate playing Greed on Infernal. It's fine on other difficulties, but Infernal, it's fucking terrible. Now, I'll let you stick with this for just a little bit, because this battle is pretty much done here, and I will be right back right when this battle is done.
You are the best, Dante. Many have tried, and many have failed me. Brave Ulysses, the great Alexander, Attila, Lancelot. Only you possessed a soul black enough to free me.
I gave my soul to free Beatrice, not you.
Did you really think this was all about the girl? She was the bait!
Her soul is free now. Only you and I remain.
Come for me, holy warrior! Come! Fulfill your destiny!
And another conveniently placed cut in the video. Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, this part of the battle, holy shit, it is awful. Just god-awful. Before we get on any further, let's point out the obvious. Yeah, Lucifer's got a humongous dick. I don't know exactly why they chose to emphasize that. And I kind of feel badly for the guy who had to program the physics of this guy's dick, because it flops around as you hit him. You'll be able to see his humongous dick and balls will flop around as I hit him constantly. And before we proceed any further, before I talk about the battle a bit, I just want to take a little point and look at his health bar. I've hit him over 50 times, about 60 or 70 times now, and that's how much health I've taken off. This guy is sturdy as fuck. It is ridiculous. I mean, you just have to hit him over and over and over again, and it's honestly a really kind of boring battle to play. It's not, well, I shouldn't say boring, because it's really stressful. Because as you can see, like with that one hit, he took off like 90% of my health with one swing. You have to block all his attacks perfectly, or not block, but counter all his attacks perfectly, or else you will not survive this battle very long, even with Magic Divine Armor, because it just, you don't have enough magic to constantly do it. Now, because I mentioned the magic thing, this battle could have been so much easier if I did save up my my upgrades and only use them on this battle. I actually watched a tutorial video, not a tutorial video, but someone fighting this boss on Infernal like I am, after I had already beaten it, and I saw that he had a much easier time because he hadn't upgraded his health or his magic until this battle. And as you know, if you upgrade your health or magic, it gives you full health or magic, depending on which one you upgrade. So he was able to revive himself fully multiple times just because he did that and I didn't. So that would have been much easier if I had done that, but I didn't. So this battle was a bit harder. Anyway, this guy is he's really cheap, and I think he exemplifies my biggest issue with this game on Infernal. You know, and I'll go ahead and say it right now. If I had to rate this game on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7 because I played it on Infernal. If I hadn't played it on Infernal, I probably would have given it an 8 or an 8.5, solely because it's fun. You know, it has its problems and things like that, and I realized that I probably should give it lower than an 8.5. But it's a fun game. I enjoyed it. I played it multiple times, and I had fun every single time that I didn't play it on Infernal. I mean, Infernal is the only difficulty that really is just evil. Even Hellish isn't all that bad. Infernal makes this game not fun for many reasons, but the main one is because a lot of the enemies have moves or attacks that can hit you when you are in unstoppable animations. And really, what that boils down to is luck, whether or not the enemy decides to hit you when you're in that unstoppable animation. You'll see throughout this battle, I'm only using the weak scythe attacks because all those weak scythe attacks are cancelable. Obviously, I'm using the heavy scythe attacks when I'm using Magic Divine Armor because Magic Divine Armor makes you invincible. But if I'm not in Magic Divine Armor, I'm not using those heavy scythe attacks at all because you can't cancel them, or at least you can't cancel some of them, but you can cancel all the light scythe attacks. And being forced to only use light attacks because the enemies are cheap is really lame. I mean, it makes it so that you can't use a lot of the abilities you can unlock unless you are being really, really risky. Like, I can't use any of the abilities I unlock in this battle, not at all. And it's really, really lame because I unlock them, I want to use them, but I can't do it because this game doesn't allow me to. Now, like I said, if you're playing on normal mode, you're fine. You're good. You don't have any problems at all. You can easily use all the abilities you want and not have to worry about it. But, not on Infernal, not in the slightest. And you just have to kind of grin your teeth or grit your teeth and bear it because that's the way this difficulty is. So if you don't care about hard difficulties, then this game is great for you. If you do, then it isn't. Oh, and by the way, there was a slight cut in the video. That was a rendering, not a rendering fail, but a recording fail. My HD PVR just decided to shit a brick for that part of the battle, of course. Not much I could do about it, but yeah. I paused here because I thought I could refill my redemption energy by doing that, but I can't. Oh well, I found that out while playing. Anyway, there's a cutscene coming up right here that the game glitched and it failed on me, and it cut out like a good portion of the video of the cutscene, and there's nothing I could do to recover it except for play the boss again, and fuck that. So sorry about that. You're gonna miss some of the audio, not audio, but video from the cutscene, but not much I can do.
Far worse than I. I stood for my fellow angels, for reason and justice, and then he made you in his image. You, the flawed creation, and I was to bow down to you. My gratitude for breaking the chains of Judecca. You don't. Behold your ruin, and witness my escape into...
And unfortunately, that cutscene, like I said, it shit a brick, and it was not possible for me to recover the end of the audio there or the actual video itself. I mean, you didn't miss much of the audio, but you missed a good amount of the video, and I'm sorry about that. Just like I said, it's not possible for me to recover that. Now, as you can see, the battle has greatly changed, and this portion is surprisingly, I want to say, a bit easier than the first part, but that doesn't mean it's easy, not in the slightest. God, the first part is just awful. But this part, it can also be very difficult as well, because, I remember playing it throughout various portions of this portion of the battle. I got him down way to like the bottom of his health bar, and then I just died. Just died instantly, even when I had like almost full health, because he did an attack that just totally took me down. So, unfortunately, the beginning and end of this battle are just plagued with cheapness and just shit that's not very fun to play. But it's okay. I guess it's a bit more understandable for the last boss of a video game. It's not acceptable for the entire game, which is, of course, like I said, what Infernal difficulty does in this game. But hey, I knew that going into it. I knew that when I turned it up to Infernal, it was going to be a bitch, which is why I initially didn't. The first couple episodes are not Infernal, but I decided to turn it up, and I think it's a good thing that the final difficulty is hard. Not a good thing that it's cheap. Which is something that a lot of game developers don't necessarily understand. They don't understand the distinction. They don't understand how to make a game difficult without being cheap. You see the same thing in Queen Mira, the last battle of Gears of War 3, and in many other video games. It's just kind of the way it is. But this battle is wrapping up, and I will leave you with the rest of this, and I'll be right back in just a teensy bit after all the cutscenes.
Remember the war in heaven! Remember the rebellion! We shall all witness the end of the universe! The fallen sons of paradise will rise again! Wait! There's just one last minor detail with which I ought to make you familiar. It can't be. You're dead, Dante. You can't go anywhere. Not a single soul may leave this place. It is forbidden by him. I am so sick of you. I will reclaim my rightful place in paradise. My path will be paved with the sins of man, and yours, Dante, shall be the bedrock of my return. And all that is good shall be gone from the universe forever!
Not yet. I have collected many souls on this pilgrimage. Souls that I have freed from this Inferno. And together, they now possess the power to free me. Father, mother, brothers, absolve me!
This power, Dante, we can use it together. You and I, friend. Just think what we could achieve.
I would rather not.
Dante, I can reunite you with Beatrice. Together, we will rule the three kingdoms of the afterlife.
It's not going to happen.
Dante,
I did not die, and I did not live.
So yeah, guys, that is the end of Dante's Inferno. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Let's Play. Funnily, they tell me I have unlocked Infernal difficulty. Can you believe it? I finally unlocked Infernal. Oh, wow. Anyway, that's the end of this Let's Play. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I enjoyed bringing it to you guys. And I will see you guys in my next project, whatever it is. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Oh, and dicks.